Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today I thought I would do just a sort of check-in, a draw with me. I haven't done one of these videos since December of last year, so it's time. This is a really busy week, and I'll get into why, but I just wanted to sit down, check in with you, see how you're doing, tell you how I'm doing, and then we can just do some drawing together. So I have my Stology 365 and I have a pencil board for this thin paper, and I'm just going to get started. But I need to find an empty page first. So let's do that. All right. And I think this definitely needs a little bit of protection because I pressed so hard it sort of indents on the next page. I'm going to use my Pentel brush pen. I will link all the supplies in the description box if you are interested. So let's get started. Grab a sketchbook, draw with me, hang out with me. I'm going to be doing a little bit of portraiture just because I've been on a portrait kick for a while now, and I can go back in and show you some of the portraits. I don't know. I'm just leaning into my moods and the things I want to draw, and that's been very gratifying and satisfying for me. So I did 20, if you're new to my channel, I did drawing challenges for 20 months back to back to back. And I need kind of a break. I need a break to draw the things I want to draw, to work on the things I want to work on. Just to lean into the ideas I have and the things I want to experiment with. I spent so long working on prompts and topics and things that other artists created that now I kind of want to do it my way. And I'm doing it in this sketchbook. I'll be filling 2 of these this year is the goal. I think this sketchbook really lends itself to pen and ink. I really like pen and ink with this sketchbook. I've tried some wet media, a little bit of watercolor, and it did bleed through, so this paper doesn't have the sizing or the coating. It's not like the Tomoe River. It's not like multimedia paper. It's very thin. It's a very beautiful paper. I am enjoying it a lot, but I just think it's awesome with pen and ink, and I think that's primarily because of how smooth and slick it is. It's also very white. It's not very ivory. I'm going to use a Micron 03 with this as well. And I'm having a problem with a lot of my Micron pens. I don't know. I'm not typically pressing harder than I normally do, but I'm having a lot of recession of the nib inside the metal casing. So the nib is actually retracting in, and I don't know if it's like a batch I have or what's going on there. I might have to switch to the plastic nib or try something else, just because I know there's a ton more ink in these pens. I know how much ink is in an entire pen. So I know there's more ink in here, but I'm losing my nibs. And I'm not pressing any harder than I typically do. So that needs to be investigated. I filled an entire sketchbook with 1 Micron pen. And yeah, a lot of ink in these pens. I'd say there's more than the Copic fineliner. Yeah, but again, it's what's preference to you. So whatever your preference is what's best. So how are you? How are you doing? What are you up to? What are you drawing? Are you working on a project? Are you filling sketchbooks? Are you going through the products you own? If you are working on a no-buy art supply this year, how is it going? We're almost, 3 months into the year. It's, the days are long, but the years are short, so it's gone by quickly, sort of. It can feel long sometimes when you're doing really long challenges. but it's already March, so maybe it's flown by for you, I hope, in some aspect. I hope it's not too, like, painful. If you are doing a low buy, how is that going for you? I'm doing a low buy this year and every year hereafter. What are your temptations? What has been the hardest? Coming off a year-long no-buy art supply, I'm not tempted by anything. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. I don't want to spend any money. And I look at stuff and I'm just like, no, that's not for me. Which is the point of a no-buy. But I think there might be some things I need. So when I go to do my supply purchasing in the summer, I think it's going to be a lot of tools and less like art supplies. Like, I think there's more tools that I need, which might inspire and give ideas. Or you may go, yep, that's not for me. And that's fine too. So this week, our twins, which are our youngest, they're turning 12. So we are in full party mode, full party prep, and working on that, which has made the week, you know, kind of, it feels very busy. And I have an idea planned for next week's video. That's something I've never done before, and I'm not sure how time intensive it's going to be. And because of that, I want to make sure I allocate proper time to it, and then I'm going to discuss the process and what it was like. And it's just something very unique that I've always wanted to try, but I didn't purchase editing software until this year, so I couldn't really dedicate the amount of time I feel the video is going to need. So now that I have software and I can do longer videos and I feel comfortable editing, I just need to have a week to sit down and do all the illustrating for the video. I don't like my eyes symmetrical. I don't know what it is, but I have to have them different and like unique. It's kind of funny. I don't know what it is. All right. I like these brush pens. The ink on these is fugitive, so it's not light fast. But I just really like, I have a medium and I have a fine tip. Boy, the difference is pretty small there. It'd be fun to own these in sepia, in a really rich, beautiful brown. But I don't know how often I would use it, so I probably will refrain from purchasing one of those. I like them. I like how the brush feels on the page, and I'm not into water brushes, because this is kind of what I would think a water brush is similar to if I were to equate it to something else in watercolor. But I don't use water brushes, so, and this feels different with the ink. I can't describe it. I enjoy it, but know that if you're going to do something like this, it wouldn't be for like just direct commission. It would be like for print reproduction purposes, or, you know, things like that. Uploading it somewhere so it can be reprinted because of how this ink is. Am I close enough? Can you see that? I think you can. Okay. I am in absolute darkness. It's super windy and rainy. In fact, it's been rainy and windy. Well, it's been rainy all month. I decided this year that I wanted to start keeping track of some additional things, like health trackers and stuff, for how much sugar I'm doing for my intake, and then how much I'm exercising, and then the other one is how much sunshine I'm getting, because I could have swore up and down that I was getting tons and tons of sunshine, and I'm not. So that's definitely something I need to work on, except I don't have a choice this month because there's no sun to be had. So I either go inland and do a road trip for some sunshine, or I just, the next time the sun comes out, I have to make a cognizant effort just to like go outside. And I'm just using up some little notebooks and things I have laying around my office space for the tracker. It's nothing fancy. It's nothing inspirational. It's nothing that's going to give you any ideas. There's tons of like planner YouTube channels and things of people that do it so much better. And creatively when tracking different things, this is not for like illustrative, inspirational things. This is just for me to see, like, am I getting enough exercise? How much sugar am I actually eating? And then how much sunshine I'm actually getting, which is none. I'm not getting enough sunshine. I'm like a plant. It's true. I didn't think I was, and then we moved here where we're at right now in 2018, and I realized how much less sunshine is here and how not used to that I am. So it's kind of strange. I don't know if you can hear that. It's so windy. And we got snow, and there's just, the weather's been absolutely wild. Where's my cap? Oh, there it is. Okay. Anyway. So how are you? How is the weather where you're at? Is it cold? Is it warm? Are you getting sunshine? I'm in the United States, and there are places in the United States where it's cold and wet and rainy, but they get way more days of sunshine. I am not in that location. So, yep. And I like the juxtaposition of fine lines with large lines. I can't explain it. This is part of my like exploration when it comes to doing faces and things like this. I'm trying to figure out what I like, what I enjoy, what I'm in the mood for, and I really like combining materials. I'm going to try and make this one not monochromatic. I tend to lean into monochromatic color things, and sometimes that can be really interesting, and other times I feel like I need to branch out and challenge myself. So for this one, I'm going to try and do the challenge. Anyway, do you have any fun plans this weekend? We keep the party small, just to our family. We have some friends that are COVID long haulers and not doing well. So in respect of elderly and those that are autoimmune compromised, we just keep everything tiny and just us. But since 2020, we kind of throw week-long parties for all the holidays. We give them like a lot more air to breathe and a lot more fun activities and crafts and just fun things to explore and books to read about every holiday. And we play tons of like games and different things. It can make it a lot more fun, and you know, it can be hard for kids. I think parenting right now, or just existing in the world right now, I think people aren't given enough credit for like how hard it is. With the technology, with all the social media, with the pandemic, like I just think folks aren't getting enough credit for just trying to exist and find joy and go throughout the day, and it can be very, very difficult. And I want you to know that I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. However you are striving, whatever goals you're working towards, however, you know, just getting out of bed sometimes can be a lot. And I just want you to know that I'm proud of you. I hear you and I'm with you. It's an absolute lot, and it doesn't get the recognition sometimes that I think it deserves. You know? Make sure the chin's on there. Wow, it is windy. The corner of our bedroom is what is my office space. And I have 2 windows in the corner because I love looking out into the trees in our backyard. And we get a lot of really unique birds and things that fly through. The crows kind of pick on the raptors. Everybody has claimed space in our backyard. So I just sit at my window sometimes and bird watch from here. It is absolutely wild. Anyway. But with super, super windy days, it can be a lot. So that is how my weekend is shaping up. Decorating, present wrapping, game planning. Because our kids share a birthday, our nieces are twins, and their birthday is actually, they were born 2 hours apart, so their birthday fell on, you know, different days. Our kids are on the same, they're 2 minutes apart. So their birthday's the same day. So we really try and like go out of our way to make sure that even though they're sharing, that it still feels unique to them. And they're getting, you know, like custom decorations and things. Like I never want them to feel like they have to share everything. So part of the party is sort of decorated mermaids, metallic mermaid type things, and then the other part is decorated video games, which we're not a huge tech house. We don't own a TV. Our kids play video games like 10 times a year. But they have iPads for research. We homeschool. I've built a curriculum. I have stuff up on my Pinterest if you're interested in some unique curriculum ideas. Maybe you just want to supplement what the school's doing, or your child is really interested in a subject or topic that isn't being covered. Our kids constantly surprise me of all the things they want to learn and know about, and it's just not stuff that our state curriculum covers. So it's always really nice to include that and have those options. And shout out to the children's book writers and illustrators for providing all this stuff. And then when we're done with it, we donate it to the library because we just don't have the space. So everything gets donated so other kids can enjoy it. And the librarians are so sweet. They know us by now. Because we really go all out with the history curriculums and stuff to make sure they're inclusive and interesting and have projects and hands-on activities and stuff. Because otherwise, it's dry. Be a very dry topic. Let's do some shadowing here around the bridge. Are you working on something specific this year? Are you getting into drawing something new, or are you honing your skills for something that you typically draw a lot of? I would say I do a lot of faces anyway, and I'm trying to make them a little bit more unique, a little bit more stylized. I'm just trying to explore because I enjoy the subject matter so much that them all looking exactly the same can be so incredibly boring. That I really want to get weird with it. And that's the joy of art, isn't it? Creative licensing. Let's do some hairline here. Okay. I'm making sure I don't run out of battery while I talk, so I'm like resetting the battery as I go. There's nothing worse than being like mid-draw and mid-sentence and your battery shutting off. I can't tell you how many times that has happened to me. I have over 500 videos. It has happened to me a lot. a lot. So I do want to put up another huge art tutorial this month. But it's just nice to check in. Check in, see how folks are doing. How are you? Did you discover a new art supply this year? Or something that you've been playing around with that maybe you haven't given time to previously that's been a lot of fun? There's so many different art supplies that come in so many different formats. It can be very, very overwhelming. It can be very expensive. It can be a lot of things. I think I've come to terms that for some specific art supplies, if I want to own them, I need to go in store and sort of try them out. And I don't know if there are art stores left that let you do that. Like when I was growing up, we had a couple art supply stores that just had all their pens out and had sample pens and pencils and stuff. And you can do that, and it wasn't a big deal. But I think the pandemic and stuff has kind of shut some of that down. Like people don't want the germs or having to, you know, give up supplies so they become samples. That can be a huge sort of cost that the company and the store has to try and recoup. And one of those supplies is pastel pencils. Pastel pencils can feel very scratchy and be a very unique experience. And I just can't tell from reviews. I'm trying to be more mindful and like cognizant. I've been reading reviews of things in preparation of a purchase in a few months, and I want to make sure that I'm doing a better job of reading. Hi, Kat. Oh, there she is. This is Magpie. She's all gray. She has green eyes, and she doesn't care that I'm drawing. When she wants attention, she gets in your face about it a little bit. Anyway, she's a sweetheart. So I either don't ever own pastel pencils, or I go into a store and see if they'll let me like try them out. Like maybe they'll be patient with me and let me explain my plight, my situation. Then I just want a really nice, relaxing drawing experience with all my supplies. And when they're really scratchy, cat babe, I love you. I love you, sweetheart. Please move. That it isn't the best experience I know I can have. So And I'm not sure like if price has anything to do with it, because pastel pencils come in such a wide price range. You know, like Caran d'Ache make probably the most expensive set. But I read reviews that say those are scratchy. I don't know. I thought about getting tinted charcoal pencils instead. I think Derwent makes a set instead of doing pastel pencils. As a compromise if I can't find what I'm looking for. But they're very tinted gray, and I do want the pigment. Despite what I'm showing you here, I do want color sometimes. So I'm not sure what the solution is. Except just going into a store and trying things out. And where I live, they don't have anything like that. So I would have to drive to the nearest large city. And that's going to be hours and hours and hours. Probably 4 hours. I mean, it might be a fun weekend getaway trip. And then I would record like museum stuff and all kinds of different things. Might be a lot of fun. But I'm just not in the place to do that right now. We'd have to do that like for summer school, during summer. And we typically do our summer school July, August. We're in the northern hemisphere, so that's when that takes place. You southern hemisphere folks that have your summer vacation coincide with your Christmas holiday, that is so smart. That's so smart and lovely. I can't fathom it being warm in December. Like, I've tried picturing it, and I'm a December baby. My birthday is 4 days before Christmas. I've never had a warm birthday. It would be so much fun to travel somewhere in December and have a warm Christmas and a warm birthday. That'd be so much fun. I'm here for it. I'm here. I want to try. I'm willing to give it a try. Every once in a while we have like a fluke week in January here where the winds and the rains die down. It's not every year, but a few years we've had it. And we've been able to like go to the beach, even though it's been cold, not go in the water, but just like play in the dunes and walk around and look at the tide pools and just hang out and play in the sand, basically. Collect seashells. That's a lot of fun to be able to do that, and it's special to be able to do that, and we know we're super privileged to be able to do that where we're at. Some Januaries afford us the ability to do that. And sometimes it's just too cold and windy, and what you don't want is to go to the beach and get sandblasted. Like the winds are too heavy and it kicks up the sand. Ooh, it is so hard on the eyes and the skin. I don't recommend it. I'm trying some different textures and things. I don't know. We'll see. Squeeze some more ink into here. Okay. Oh, March. March is always wet. So, and cold. Because of that, we have to do tree maintenance, make sure our trees are in good shape. We don't want them losing a branch in the wind. That's life-altering experience because the branches are just too big where we live. So we have to be very careful, very cognizant, do all the maintenance. Which is fine. I love yard work. But we have to hire it out because, again, our trees are so tall. We have some of the tallest trees in the world. So it takes crews and crews and crews of people that specialize in dealing with our trees. I love them. They house some of the most amazing birds, different animals and stuff. I'm laughing because our neighbor got like we have neighbors. I mean, not all of them are right next to us. We neighbors are a relative term, and we have one that got like the ultimate strobe light, like the ultimate backyard light, and it illuminates everything everywhere. It's so bright, and I think from what I understand, they had a bear. I mean, we have bears come through our yard all the time and deer and stuff, but I think they had a bear hang out and they're like, no, we're not doing that again. So they got this light that just, it's like daytime bright, and it illuminates things when it gets triggered. It's on like sort of a motion sensor. Oh man. None of the animals can stand it. So it's working. I'm very happy for them that they're feeling more safe and protected and stuff. But it's so bright sometimes. Oh man. We've had a full moon, and between the full moon and their light, I'm like, oh, we could literally go play in the backyard. We don't. We don't play in the backyard when it gets dark. The skunks come out, the possums come out, the raccoons come out, the bears come out. They all feel very comfortable to walk around and have privacy and stuff. We don't have traditional fencing either. We have some fences, but not all the way around. So it's sort of, animals can walk through if they need to. It's just a very unique experience where we live. My husband and I both grew up in huge metropolitan cities. So when we moved here, we knew, like, yes, we want to live in the forest. Yes, we want to live by the beach. We get both of that here. But we just didn't know a lot about the wildlife and behaviors and stuff. So we read on everything and, you know, made sure that we were providing water for different wildlife. We're doing all the things we should be doing to protect them walking through. We don't want them to feel kicked out or anything. We have had deer walk up to our front door. Like, we'll open the front door and a deer comes walking up, and we just, you know, we just close the door. Not today, please. No, thank you. Wrong house. The bear is a little bit more challenging. He's young, and he just grabs our trash can and yanks it down the street. And we just get up and clean the street. Like, there's some months where it's, you know, 5 times a week we're cleaning trash. We've tried all manner of things to deter him. We can't alter our trash cans in any way. We can't get bear trash cans. Not everybody has bears where we live. We're definitely in the huge minority, so it's not like we could call up the city and be like, hey, it's time for bear trash cans. They'd be like, no, it's just you. And we'd be like, yeah, I know. But our local trash center is so funny because it's always the same person that answers. Our city's small. And she's lovely. Tell your bear I said hi. I'm like, okay, we will. We say hi to our bear too. But yeah, the bear claws in our trash can. I'm like, I really don't want to get charged for this. But they know. They know who we are. It's nice that everybody's understanding. And just is like, yeah, well, that's welcome to forest life. We like to camp and go camping in different areas of the forest where we live. And that can be a lot of fun to see how other areas and folks and campsites deal with bears and things. I love it. I love nature. I would like to do more outdoor work, but it definitely has to dry up, or they make those little notebooks for scientists that can get wet, but I'm just not buying anything, so I'll just wait till it gets dry and then bring you with me and we can go draw at the beach. I just have to be careful because if it's super, super windy, my sketchbook fills with sand. And then because this paper's so thin, like one grain of sand bumps up multiple pages. I mean, that could be a artistic choice, a desired effect. I'm not sure how to incorporate that. But that could be fun. I don't know. I like making it up as I go along, apparently. Are you doing any drawing challenges this month? On my Instagram, in my stories, I pin as many different drawing challenges as I can find for folks so they can have it in one location to look at and examine if folks are interested in drawing challenges. I'm not doing drawing challenges this year, and I won't be doing any drawing challenges next year. I have a very specific project I want to do. But maybe 2025, which means if I'm going to be doing back-to-back drawing challenges again, I'm going to need another quite substantial quantity of sketchbooks. I'll need, at least a dozen. We'll see. I'll do a final inventory count and look the end of this year, and I'll do one the end of next year before the year starts so we can examine what I have left on my shelf and what still needs to be used. Just for fun, Inventory has really been helpful to know exactly what I have on hand. So I highly recommend, if you are considering low buys and no buys, that you make an account of everything you own. It can be very eye-opening. I pretty much learned that there's no way I can use up all the supplies I have, and I don't really need more new things. There's some things I'd like to replace as I use them up because I have preferences. But I don't really need tons of new stuff. There's no way I can use it up in my lifetime. I'm 43, so it's not like I have tons of decades left of drawing every single day. At some point my hands are going to be like, and we're done. Our eldest really likes illustration and animation, so she has Procreate on her iPad. I haven't tried it. She hasn't had it very long. I love just the tactile experience of putting stuff on paper. Though I have seen the most amazing things created digitally that are such an inspiration and motivation. I want to try it, but it wouldn't be anything that I would do long term. Just because I know my preferences. I know what I like. I know what I prefer. I mean, heck, I've been using Micron pens since the early 90s. I think I have one that's leased from '02 and it still works like it's brand new. I don't use a lot of red, it turns out. So that just kind of sits in my jar and I have a good chuckle about it. This is some interesting patterning going on here. Not really hair. Whoop. Went through the page. Oh, I might need a bigger, when it comes to tools, I might need a bigger sheet protector because this is made for traveler size and this is an A5 size. So I might need to get a little bit bigger one just so I don't keep damaging pages and stuff with my enthusiasm. I'm trying to figure out what color I should add to this. If I should do colored pencil or ink. I have my polychromos on my desk. They're always on my desk. My desk always looks like I need to clean it. Even after I clean it, it's still super cluttered and I just have things that I forget about when I put them away. And so my to-do list always says clean desk and it just never happens for me. Oh, it sounds like a first world problem. Sounds like a choice. All right, let's try a color. Who are you? You are a green, emerald green. All right, let's do some emerald green. I'll probably never purchase another full set of colored pencils. I really like the polychromos, and for colors that I am missing, I will probably just fill with the Derwent Lightfast if polychromos doesn't have them, or the Caran d'Ache Luminescence, like one-offs. But I won't end up ever purchasing another full set. I think it'd be redundant to own multiple sets like that. Just because I like these so much, I know how these behave. And see, I have a little line here from the pencil board. Okay. I like how these blend out, so. Yes, green. It's kind of a glowy green, isn't it? It looks strange on my, I can look up and see it in my lens. As I'm recording, it looks like it's glowing. We'll see when I play this back, when I go to edit, if it still looks glowy like that. It's very interesting. Do you have a favorite colored pencil brand? Do you have a favorite color? In my set of 36 polychromos, there are a couple that aren't, they don't have the best light fast rating. And one of them's the purple and the other one is the magenta. And I've looked to color match that color, even though some companies call it different names. And I can't find one. Magenta's just, it's too bright. So it'd definitely be something for print reproduction if I were going to do a commission or something as a gift. A lot of companies on their webpage will show you. They'll have light fast lists. Sometimes on the pencil, they use stars for this one. So this one has 3 stars. And that's fine. Derwent Lightfast makes a really good purple that has better light fastness. and I will probably end up purchasing one over the summer. There's also one color I can't make. So in the 36 set of Polychromos, I cannot make a cool pale pink. I can take my magentas and I can be very light with them, but it has such warm undertones with those colors, I can't make a cool pink. So that is also like a very specific pencil I'll probably be purchasing. Ooh, that wind. Just as a convenience color, because I can't make it with the supplies I have. And you may notice when you buy sets that there are little one-off gaps. I like to have way more browns that are ever included in a set. Brown is just one of my favorite colors ever, because it's just beautiful and rich and looks great with everything. See, I can always tell right away when there's something under the page. It's one of those things with thin paper. This has been a fun challenge. When I am done, I will have 2 full ones of the Stalogy 365. And I will be able to give you the full review of the pros and cons of this product after using it for an entire year straight. It's quite a challenge to use one type of paper every single day and really limit that. I love challenging myself. It may sound like, you know, I'm complaining or something, but I really like trying new things and seeing how I handle like problem solving creatively. So I create these very specific set of parameters for myself where I'm like, oh, okay, I've committed to this. I've made it public. I've told people for accountability. Now I have to do it. How is this going to go? So, ooh, that wind. I'm going to clip in a little video of how crazy the wind is. Okay. I think that's it. I think that's my illustration for the day. I can go back and show you some of my previous illustrations if you'd like to see them. All right, let's go back in time. So this is a crow, and this is a Pentel brush pen, pink Pilot, and gold Posca. Purple Micron, this is just stippling, so it's just lots and lots of polka dots. Again, I am just really experimenting with portraits. This is just Polychromos. Again, this is the magenta. You can really see like how bright this is. Purple Micron. Again, just experimenting with shape and what I can get that to convey in motion. Pentel brush pen and a little bit of a Uniball Signo in silver. And this looks like white Posca. This is 2 pens. So the blue, if you can see her, is the Fudabiori and the pink is Pilot. So it's kind of 2 folks superimposed, illustration style. This is just a sepia Micron and experimenting with line and shape. Sepia Micron, lots and lots of cross hatching where the purple back here was all stipple. This is all like cross hatching and sort of contouring for shape. Here's a charcoal. I'm only doing 1 charcoal a month in here because it's going to get too thick Here's part of a poem by Langston Hughes. What happens to a dream deferred? Brush pen and micron. Again, just experimenting. All micron. All micron, all bird. Nothing like a cranky ostrich. I have a penguin. All micron. Here's sort of a art journal entry where I drew and then wrote on top of it what my day was like. Here's a peacock. All micron. Birds are so much fun for me to draw. Here's a botanical. It's just a flower. And then this is Uniball Signo, silver. And then this is Posca in gold with the micron. Just a single botanical. Here is a moth on a log. This is all micron, and I did as much as I could before I kind of ran out of time. But wood is a very fun texture surface to draw and try and recreate. This is a Tombow pen. Just a cat. This is brush pen and micron. So, and hatching and cross hatching. Oh boy. Some of these pages, I'll tell you what. So brush pen and then silver Uniball Signo. This is all just a black micron and experimenting with hatching, cross hatching, and sort of creating raindrops. Well, these pages, you need dexterity, I'll tell you that. So this is Pentel brush pen, and it's 2 portraits, depending on how you want to look at it. This is brush pen and micron. Brush pen and micron. I don't know if you can see, I have lots of little lines here for added interest and intrigue. This is purple, polychromos, a portrait. I think that's where we left off. I have a couple frogs in here. I don't know. I was in a frog mood that lasted a couple days. Here's a cat. This is how much I could finish in the time I had. Flamingo. Raptor. Okay, so yeah, lots and lots of portraits, as you can see. Been birds, birds and portraits. It's been a lot of fun experimenting and trying techniques and seeing how things look. So thank you very much for hanging out with me, for drawing with me, for looking at some of my illustrations. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.